It's great to see you, Manchán, and thank you for coming in. And we've had such fun working on this project with you. It's a collaboration between Stable and Manchán with regard to doing a new look and a new insight into the Báinín jacket. And you are a wearer and a lover, and your father's been wearing it, and you have a deep connection with the Báinín jacket. And it's something we've wanted to do for a while. So it's so appropriate to work with you on this and get your insights and your feedback and why you love it so much and its history. And I'm sure a lot of people would be really interested in hearing that.
Yeah, like the Báinín jacket was the one thing that brought my family together. Like my mum and dad were very different, okay? But my mum's family, you know, her granduncle was the O'Reilly, who only ever wore tweed, Irish-made tweed. And then his niece, my granny, only ever wore tweed. So my granny only ever wore tweed. And my dad, who was from the politically totally different. They were Republican revolutionaries. He was different, but he mostly wore this Báinín jacket, the traditional Iron Island jacket. You know, the traditional jacket the fishermen used to wear, this simple jacket without buttons. And whenever he'd go to O'Malley's on Shop Street in Galway was where you'd get it, you know, if you weren't living in the Iron Islands. But like when I think of my dad, who died now like 30 years ago, I just think of him in that warm, cozy, almost like a teddy bear coat, almost like a small duffel coat like Paddington Bear would wear. But I couldn't get them. Like I went back to O'Malley's, my dad had died long ago, and they had this jacket, but like it was the memory, someone else's memory of a Báinín. So what had happened was the last people who were doing hand-woven tweed up in Studio Donegal, up in Kilcar in Donegal, had seen a photo of a Báinín and made this Báinín. But it was fine, and it's lovely, and it's what I've been wearing, but it looks a little bit like a sack of potatoes sometimes. So I've been dying, could I wear, like when you see the fishermen, it just looks cozy on their bodies. And when I think of my dad, it looks gorgeous. So I've just been, and so many people ask me, where can I get a jacket like yours? And I'm thinking, where can I get a jacket like my dad's? And then when you suddenly said, you might be interested in trying to make a Báinín, of looking back at the whole tradition, looking at the photos, and then reimagining it, but not being like devilishly loyal to the past, like reimagining it for today. I was so excited.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, we've had a really enjoyable time working with you back and forth over the last few months. We've made patterns and tried. You've been the best clothes hanger for us to try on, and the feedback's been amazing. So we're delighted to have our final, which which we are really happy to with the finish of. So have a look here.
Look at that! Oh, look at the finishing! Oh my! Is that linen?
That's Irish linen.
Oh, beautiful! It's on a whole other level from my dad's like moth-eaten, torn, ragged ones.
Yeah,
that is beautiful. And like the color, it's almost like multicolored, Jacob's multicolored dream coat. There's every color in that.
It's pretty fantastic. So it's Irish tweed that's woven in Kerry by Kerry Woolen Mills, and then the Irish linen is woven in Wexford by Emblem. And the linen finish is really nice because the original Báiníns did not have that finish. So, but we think it's just the devil in the detail for us. We love it, and it just looks great. And it's actually for the wearer because the linen's on the inside. Oh, yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's inside on the pockets.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah,
can I try it on?
Please, that's absolutely, yeah.
So, and it's light too. Some of the ones I got were like heavy. Yeah. My dad's ones were super light like this, that you don't even notice it's on.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And I love the connection with the fishermen, because you were saying to us that the fishermen had the big pockets because they put everything in their pockets, which I love. Yeah. And then the very nice details as well on the sleeves, where they had this little slit here.
Oh, you have the slit. Yeah. Oh, so good. Yeah. So good.
Just tiny little details. Yeah. But they would have been made at home in the cottages by the people who sewed for the family. I mean, that's the way that they were. So the Irish tweed the quality of tweed was really important. But few, as in a lot of Irish costumes, few of original Báinín survive because things were not made or built to last in those days. They just made with what they had. So so things didn't last as long, but we're hoping that this one will last a long time. I
know, like about 10 years ago, I finally found someone. They said, oh, don't worry, we have Báiníns. They were working with like the theatres and the films on the Iron Islands, and they said they'd heard of this course, and they went to the warehouse, whole stacks of it, all eaten by moths, everything moth-eaten, just a memory. All you were just picking up and they were crumbling.
Wow.
Like, so you're not seeing a brand new Báinín made in a traditional way anymore. You're like, this is like a memory being revived. And I wonder, was this so that they could fold it up?
I'm sure.
The fishermen were putting their hands in, gathering up nets and all.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I know a lot of houses I think the tweed would have been woven at home and then sewn at home, but not always, because you do hear these accounts in the folklore archive of the women going to Galway to buy the tweed, bringing it home, and then sewing it for their
absolutely
for the husbands in mind.
And that traditional, obviously, herringbone pattern, so indicative of Irish tweed. And then the fleck pattern, which is also very particular to Donegal. Originally, when they were spinning yarn, they'd never waste anything. So they'd pick up all the remnants of wool, throw it back into the basket and respin. So you always got flecks of colour. Nowadays, of course, we do it on purpose because it's so beautiful. But yeah.
Oh, it's got lovely.
Yeah, it's a nice straight back and lovely, just simple low neck at the back as well. Really comfy, really wearable. Looks super on you.
It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
You're welcome.